he made Sucker Punch, then he went on to make Man of Steel. That was not really a step up.
Yeah, let's face it, he's not a secret genius who's being fucking
His
smothered by.
movies aren't secretly thoughtful either. They're not
Yeah, no,
secretly smart or thoughtful or interesting. They're
they're certainly
really,
not
really
dope.
weird.
They're definitely not dope.
No, not unless you are a dope.
Who the only person who would say that about his movies would be a dope.
So yeah, I guess something. I mean, that leaves Warner Brothers in a very tough situation where they're like, we got this billion-dollar franchise that is a
It's
non-starter so
hemorrhaging
far.
money. They're stupid. This is the old system. It's kind of like print comics. It's the old system. It doesn't work anymore. It's time to
The
move on
old
to the
dead
new
system that
system.
nobody really smart gives a shit about. Everyone smart has sort of moved on to a more liberated market and a liberated system instead of an incredibly restrictive and constrained to political bias market, which is what print comics are. They are a market that is entirely constrained by individuals' political bias of whoever is
Liberal,
running the company
liberal
or the
individual.
or the distributors, the company and or the distributors, who are pretty much working hand in hand, and you can't go around them and you can't actually change them. You can only say you want to, but you will
Well, you
never
can
be
go
able
around them.
to.
Here's how you go around them. Do it digitally. It's a
Yeah,
whole new way to distribute a comic.
it's
But
not
oh,
even
guess
necessarily
what?
new, it's
The
present.
biggest voice in like independent publishing today, he doesn't want to do that, which means he's going to harm his own cause.
Well, not harm. It's already dead. It's
Oh
stillborn
yeah,
because it's made by somebody who has no clue how the current market of comics actually functions. He's just a
got old
hipster who wants
lady
to bring
hands.
back. He wants to bring back Prayer in Church. He wants to bring back Male Thor. He wants to bring back vintage vinyl to record shops.
He wants the Spider-Man arc where Spider-Man is he loses an eye and then he gets eaten by a spider and then he gets shit out by the spider. He gets eaten and then defecated, eaten, defecated by a
He
spider.
becomes pregnant by his own mother, who is a giant spider, a giant trapdoor spider.
He's Mpreg.
He becomes He actually, Spider-Man actually became Mpreg in the comics. That's canon. But yeah, so this movie was just shaping up to be one of the biggest disasters in movie history. And
There's no denying it.
apparently, something happened though halfway through to get Zack Snyder off the film.
Well, I'm sure what happened. This is me speculating, but I'm also 100% certain that this is the truth.
Well, yeah, I'm
The,
convinced. It's pure speculation, but I'm convinced. I'm gonna
they've
believe it
spent
anyways.
they've already spent $500 million on the movie at this point on fucking the
A
fucking
couple
art.
billion on the whole franchise at this point.
Yeah, and they're losing money. And some executive who's about to jump out of a fucking window, I'm sure, is like, couldn't we have just spent $10,000 or $100,000, maybe just $100,000 to hire a hitman to kill Zack Snyder? And then he's like, no, you know what? We can't do that because people are looking too closely at him. That would be too suspicious. So let's just kill his daughter.
Yeah.
And then that is exactly, we'll kill his daughter. And you even looked it up before we did the review, so we could find out how exactly.
We were yeah, because we only knew that Zack Snyder's daughter died. We had no idea how, but we were like,
I
so how are
didn't
they
even
going to
know
make this look suspicious?
I didn't even know she had died originally. It's just like, oh, they finally fired Snyder. You know, as much
Yeah,
as
how
I
did they
don't like
boot him
Joss
off?
Whedon,
I don't know.
at least they fucking replaced him with somebody who's probably going to do a better job.
Marginally, marginally.
Tech, technically, he did, but I didn't know it was supposedly because actually his daughter died, and you looked it
So
up.
we were like, what was it, a suspicious car crash, or a fucking piano fell on her, or what?
I assumed that they ground up a fucking pound of codeine and put it in her fucking school lunch or something.
She wasn't a kid at this point. I think she was into her 20s.
I have no fucking idea how old she was.
I don't know. I don't know either. But when I looked it up, I finally found out she committed suicide. And it's like, oh, was it the old Hillary Clinton shot herself in the back of the head two times with no witnesses around while on a camping trip, while doing something she was greatly enjoying and having a good time? And yeah, that's not exactly. They don't say how she killed herself because, of course, no news or information source ever wants to, get that morbid or suspicious.
You won't want to fucking give attention to this kind of thing
Nobody
and
else
then make
finds that
other
suspicious,
people
though.
do more of it,
Nobody finds
except
that
unless it's
suspicious
a
that
mass
a
shooting.
billion
If it's a
dollar
mass
company.
shooting, then sure, then we're gonna fucking you're gonna know everything there is to know about the fucking guy.
Yeah. But a $1 billion
Except
company
that they're a
going through
liberal.
a $1 billion venture suddenly it realizes how much money they're about to lose, and then the guy responsible for it, his daughter dies, and they are able to get him off the project and get somebody else who at least has a better track record. No one else seems to find that very suspicious.